Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53, M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Ghost Town, and it's under the command of shootr79. Now he's got the 8-inch howitzer because it's the short fat barrel that doesn't extend over the front of the vehicle, and that means he's capable of 900 alpha penetrating 52mm of armor. And his standard reload would be 40.27 seconds, but Shooter's got it down to 32.09, and that means he shaved off 8 seconds worth of reload. Now this Arty, I should say, not tank, is actually based on the pattern tank, but you can see the return roller was taken off, and that actually helps to distribute the recoil into the ground. Okay, he's found his firing position, he's ready to go. Okay, he's started this game because he's looking now for any trace of the enemy up on top of the hill. There might be a tank destroyer. Yes, there is. There's a tank destroyer. Just knocked a tree down. We're firing around in, and that's more than likely splashed. Whoever went up there thought they were clever, and in fact now they're missing some hit points. Now you might notice actually he's loaded a number of shells, actually loaded 12 of the extra HE and 8 of the standard HE with the stun. So he's trying to maximize the damage with this configuration. Fires another one in at the same spot. After all, they'd be the TD would probably be thinking to himself, oh, and Arty wouldn't fire on the same spot again, would they? Of course they would. we do like that sort of thing. If we fire in one blind shot and we know that there's likely to be an enemy there, we'll probably fire another one in at the same spot, just in case he went back to the same spot again thinking we wouldn't do it. Rounds out on the Iron Arty. He gets a hit for 401 with the extra HE, but no stun. So of course the shootr79 4 can't give us any assist out of that one. And he's loading the extra HE again. Now the extra HE is quite useful if you've got more than one enemy tank grouping together. It means you can get extra damage on them, but it does deny you the chance to actually use some stun assist. And we've now spotted that the enemy is up on top of the hill, and we fire one at the Scorpion, and he's killed him outright. He penetrated him and wiped him out from that round. Now the extra HE is capable of 1100 alphas, so yes, that was probably an average or greater than average roll, because the Scorpion is over 1100 hit points, so, or is 1100 hit points, and so he's got his first kill of the game, and it's quite a useful one as well. Okay, he's loaded again, just trying to work out where the Iron Arty's going. That's about right there. Changed his mind, but he pushes it forward and got some splash this time for 135, but he left the Iron Arty on a one shot for anyone who puts a shell in his direction. And the Iron Arty, well, is he? No, he's not dead yet. In fact, actually, we lost the T-34-1 there, so that was not good. And there goes the Iron Arty, but oh no, we've lost our shootr79 4 as well. So things are not going so well on this side of the battlefield. There's the enemy shootr79. He fires the round in, and he gets a direct hit, no explosion. So the shootr79 4 doesn't have much in the way of armor. If it gets hit by one of these extra HE rounds, it's bound to do a lot of damage. Looking towards the town centre, we can see one enemy tank in there, a VK100-01P. But he decides he's not going to fire at that guy, he's going to change position first. Oh, we just heard a round land where he was, showing on the minimap. So it looks like he was right to move, because the enemy Arty was homing in on his position. But of course now he's going to go completely fool the enemy Arty, because he's now heading up to the east side of the map. It's not going to go too far though, because there might be enemy tanks who could potentially spot him. Although our guys have now gone down to the far end of the map on the east side, so it is reasonably safe. You might be able to get a shot down that gap. No, he's getting a red line sometimes, but he fires at the TNH and gets some splash on that one. Again, no assist yet, but remember, he did kill that Scorpion, so that's 1100 hit points that's not showing. And of course, he hit that Shootr79 4, and he may have done an equal amount of damage to that guy. So he could actually have close to 3000 hit points of damage at the moment. He's moving all over the shop with his aim, which means I'm having to try and catch up, because when you come out of aim and then realign your aim, it means that I have to reset it on the Aslains, otherwise you don't get a decent view. It goes too close. Okay, they're now focusing on the top of the hill. What's he going on here? Okay, there's the SU-130 PM right up on top of the hill, and he's gone. That means we're 3 up on the enemy now. They seem to have most of their tanks inside the town. The only one that's the exception is the Shootr79 4 on the enemy team, who happens to be somewhere on the west side of the map. Okay, going for the VK, who's going after our Tiger 1. Runs out. Direct hit into his side for 390, but unfortunately we lost the Tiger 2. Well, no, Tiger 1, sorry. So we're only 2 up on the enemy. There's not much difference in hit points as well, so despite the fact that we've got 2 more kills, it looks like the enemy has been hitting us damage for damage. He's almost loaded. Ah, now that's interesting. They just lost their SU-100 M1. This is going to be a difficult shot because it's over the top of the building, but he actually does get the VK-101, and now we are 5 tanks up on the enemy. So yes, they are in a bit of a dire position, but most of the enemy tanks that are still alive haven't lost that much in the way of hit points. That TNH has, though. He's only got 3 hit points left. It's a 1000 hit point difference. Well, it's gone down now. The TNH has gone out of the game, which means now there's only 3 enemies left. Oh, and we can see one of them, the Shootr79 4, just killed our T25 too, and he's now right up where we were at the start of the game. He's overlooking our cap area. So it looks like the Shootr79 4, that's the one we hit, and he didn't have much in the way of hit points, if you remember. So it looks like that hit by shootr79 was actually very effective. Now he's hiding behind this rock at the moment. If he tries to make a run south, the Shootr79 4 will probably try and chase him. They've lost, and then the enemy has lost the tank in the town. That was the 7032. He has been spotted. So one of the enemy tanks is able to see him at the moment, or was able to see him. So he's hugging the rock to go unspotted again. I'm wondering if it's the Shootr79 and it's actually a Super Hellcat. Oh, what a shotgun! Oh my god, that was a manual shotgun. And he took out the Super Hellcat, but here comes the Shootr79 and he's not armed. He's not loaded. And he does go down to the Shootr79's 105mm gun. All the enemy team has got left now is just that Shootr79, and he's only got 16 hit points. So I suspect that Shooter actually got him for the rest of those in the game. That one shot must have been a penetrating shot. and done a huge amount of damage. But at the moment, well, we're not following what's going on because he hasn't assigned the view to another tank yet. There's the shootr79 trying to make a run south. He stopped to shoot at the Shrek, I think, and the Shrek gets him instead. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the second-class tanker for shootr79 in the M53, M55. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he managed to get 11. He got a Gorse medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And he got the High Caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall, more than any other player. His win rate was 10,163, and I suspect that's because he actually did real damage and no stun assist, and the stun assist may be the reason why he only got a second class rather than an ace tanker. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in the game turned out to be 4,864 hit points of damage. The second highest damage was the shootr79 on the enemy team. He got a Top Gun and 4,609 hit points of damage. Not that far behind, only 200 hit points. And the third highest damage, well, that turns out to be the enemy 7032 with 4,038 hit points. When it came to kills, it was the shootr79 did the best with 6 kills. 4 kills went to the Shrek, and 3 kills went to Shooter, and also to the TNH Viz51 on his own team. Only one player on the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill. Of course, that was the shootr79. And when it came to base XP, it was the Shrek who did the best with 1,149. 1,093 went to the T71DA, and then we got Shooter with 897. So only 2 players managed to get over 1,000. And I suspect that the reason again that Shooter didn't get over 1,000 on his base XP was there was no stun assist out of that game. Let's have a look at detail. He fired 11 shots in the game, got 6 direct hits on the enemy, and 3 penetrations. Now, I think we know which ones he definitely penetrated, because he penetrated the Scorpion. That was obvious. He got 1,150 hit points of damage with that extra HE shell. And yes, it went straight through and gave him a high roll, which actually took out the Scorpion. He also managed to penetrate the shootr79, 1,160 actually off that shot. So another high roll penetrating shot, because it's 1,100. And I think he penetrated the Super Hellcat. Yes, he did. 800 hit points with that extra HE shell. Went straight through him, manually aimed. Very difficult from that range, because it's just slightly outside the envelope of what you would consider safe for a manual aim. I know, I've done it myself, and obviously you saw I had one recently in the Fifi where I took out a T52 that was maneuvering all over the place trying to get away from me. But it is difficult getting those shots in at close range, and considering the barrel of the M53, M55 is kind of heavy, it doesn't move very quick. And so when that Super Hellcat came up, for him to get the thing on target exactly right, that takes some effort, that takes some skill. So let's go back to the details. He got 4,864 hit points of damage, of which 4,064 were at more than 300 meters. So one of those shots was actually at close range. Of course, that was the Super Hellcat that he got at very close range, and it was a penetrating shot because Super Hellcats don't have much in the way of armor. He received 2 hits from the enemy. Both were penetrations. I'm afraid both of them came from that shootr79. And yes, they were terminal 105mm rounds. They just go straight through the armor of an M53, M55. He also got spotted, or spotted one enemy tank rather, damaged 7 of the enemy, killed 3, and he got no stun assist at all. Look at that, none. And that's the reason why he didn't get the ace tanker out of that game. 52,797 credits for the battle, 80,000 for completing a mission, 132,797 altogether. After repair, ammunition, resupply, and consumables, he took away 73,627 credits profit. 1,345 XP times 2 for the first victory, 2,691 experience points altogether. So yes, a very good battle in terms of getting a Gauze and a high caliber, and getting 3 penetrating shots in the battle. all 3 of which actually killed the enemy tank outright in the process. But sadly, it was only a second class because there was no stun assist for him to benefit from. If he'd actually fired the standard HE with stun, he might not have got those direct one-shot penetrating kills with his shells. But on the other hand, he might have picked up the stun assist that would have enabled him to actually come out of the battle with a ace tanker. So you pay your money and takes your choice. If you fire the HE without stun, you might get more damage, but then you might not get an ace tanker out of it. At least he had the fun of actually getting the highest damage in the game and showing everyone that, yes, Arty can dominate a battle, even with a very, very long reload time. If you enjoyed this replay, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.